Welcome, everyone. This is the Teleris Tuesday call for October 2nd, 2018. I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Teleris, the largest privately held technology services distributor in the United States, and now expanding internationally as well. We welcome you to our Tuesday call and invite you to please log into our video feed for all of today's valuable information. A quick reminder that there will not be a Teleris Tuesday call next week on October 9th due to the Channel Partners Evolution event. More about that shortly. Quick headline out of California yesterday regarding the ongoing net neutrality debate. The Justice Department filed a lawsuit seeking a preliminary injunction against California following Governor Jerry Brown's signing of a bill reinstating net neutrality rules. You'll remember the FCC voted last December to repeal those rules. Attorney General Jeff Sessions emphasized that states do not regulate interstate commerce. The net neutrality debate continues. Well, if you happen to miss last week's Teleris Tuesday call, we introduced new Teleris supplier Intellipere, helping businesses use communications to build a better customer experience. Intellipere delivers critical cloud-based voice communications your clients can build on with voice and messaging applications. Intellipere features the Atmosphere communications platform, seamlessly integrating multi-channel communications into your client's customer experience and workflows. Intellipere's official launch and training call was conducted last Thursday. A recording of that event is available in your Teleris partner back office. We hope you'll take a listen. Also on last week's call, we were joined by Kurt Allen, Senior Vice President of the Channel at Windstream Enterprise. Kurt provided an exciting and powerful Windstream Enterprise channel update featuring their new organizational structure, the addition of technology-specific overlays, vertical market support, and partner training and enablement. Kurt also highlighted their strategic solutions and showed us where Windstream wins. Kurt Allen's Windstream Enterprise presentation and all of last Tuesday's call is available now in your Teleris partner back office. Here on today's call, we'll be introducing yet another new Teleris supplier. It's Aspect. Aspect's complete contact center solutions and technology help customers create better customer service experiences and more engaged call center agents. New Teleris supplier Aspect introduces you to their industry-leading intuitive software, their value proposition, market differentiators, and more, and they're coming up in just moments. Also on today's call, I'll be joined by Sam Wolf. Sam is the channel manager at Sprint, and Brad Stidham. He's Sprint's solution engineer. They today will help us understand how Sprint Business Wi-Fi can help your clients by turning their cost-ineffective guest Wi-Fi services into a revenue-generating platform with content marketing and data analytics. Sam Wolf and Brad Stidham from Sprint Business, their exciting presentation is coming up here in just minutes. But first today, an exciting 4-session series of exclusive Teleris training events kicked off yesterday, conducted by our own Ray Hicken, Teleris VP of Sales Operations for Contact Center and Unified Communications. The Teleris CC and UC team has been so well received and the education so important to our partners that this special 4-session series on contact center and unified communications has been developed. Now, yesterday's first session was expertly conducted by Teleris' Bryson Carter on what is contact center and why sell it. Our next session is set for Monday, October 15th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on why unified communications is the gateway to selling contact center, and how to successfully make that transition in client discussions. Sessions 3 and 4 every 2 weeks thereafter will focus on how to prospect for client center opportunities, contact center opportunities that is, and on the factors driving the customer contact center experience. Cloud Contact Center is one of the world's fastest growing markets, and this training helps you find the opportunities, the questions to ask, the tools at your disposal, and how to use the Teleris Contact Center Specialty Group. Mark your calendar now, October 15th, the 29th, and November 12th for these exclusive Teleris partner training sessions on selling contact center. Well, many of our Teleris partners have joined us for our exciting, fast-paced, and very informative Tech Talk sessions, and we have an additional 4 Tech Talk events scheduled this week. 3 of them happen tomorrow. Here's that schedule. Tomorrow, Wednesday, in Louisville, Kentucky, from 9 a.m. until noon Eastern Time, Tech Talk is teaching IoT and mobility with CyberReef and Sprint. That will be at the Sprint Business Office in Louisville. And then also tomorrow from 11:30 until 1:30 Eastern Time, we're in Cambridge, Massachusetts at the Google offices for lunch and a discussion of Rackspace managed services for the Google platform. And also tomorrow from 4 until 7 p.m., another Tech Talk event takes place in Richmond, Virginia at Maggiano's Little Italy for food, drink, and a tremendous set of discussions with Momentum, Office Depot, Sierra Wireless, TierPoint, and Granite. Then finally, on Thursday, October 4th, Tech Talk is in Houston, Texas, from 2 until 5 p.m. Central Time at Houston Axe for some competitive axe throwing and some dynamic instruction from Sprint, Mitel, and IGI. Don't miss these outstanding Teleris Tech Talk events. You can see the full schedule and register and RSVP today at Teleris.com events for any of our upcoming opportunities. And of course, Teleris is planning a huge presence for the upcoming Channel Partners Evolution Gathering in Philadelphia. Did you see the LinkedIn video from Patrick Oborn and Amy Bailey last week? Well, on Thursday, October 11th, from 5 until 10 p.m. Eastern, Teleris and Viasat will be throwing the party at Channel Partners Evolution. It's the Grand Master event held at the Masonic Temple and Masonic Library and Museum. Happy hour begins at 5 p.m. with cocktails and the chance to explore the 5 ornate ceremonial rooms in that temple. At 6 p.m., the party gets started in the Grand Ballroom with food, drinks, and a live DJ sponsored by Fusion. An historic event not to be missed. You can register now at Teleris.com. Party. We can't wait to see you at the Channel Partners Evolution. You'll find Teleris in booth 130 with exciting updates to the Teleris Partner app, opportunities to speak with many of our Teleris suppliers right at the booth, including Avaya, Connect First, HTG 360, 365 Data Centers, Expedient, and Steadfast. We will see you in Philly. Can't wait for Channel Partners Evolution and the Teleris Grand Master Party. Well, today it's my honor to introduce a new Teleris supplier to our partners. It's Aspect, on a mission to simplify and improve the contact center experience. Now, Teleris partners can help their clients discover Aspect's flexible, highly scalable cloud, hosted and on-premises options for the contact center, including omnichannel interaction management, workforce optimization, and self-service capabilities. Dennis Blanco is Aspect's Channel Sales Manager for North America and joins me now to talk about this exciting new Teleris partnership. Dennis, welcome to our Teleris Tuesday call. We're very happy to have Aspect as a new supplier.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doug. I really appreciate it. Hello, everyone. Again, this is Dennis Blanco. I'm the Channel Manager for Aspect in the North American team. Pleased to join you today as we launch the Teleris and Aspect partnership. I'd just like to say, please join us on Thursday's launch call, where I will lead a presentation and Q&A on how Aspect has reimagined the customer experience. Just a real quick, our mission over the last 45-year history is to profoundly simplify and improve customer engagement. So our offers greatly simplify your ability to deliver interaction management, workforce optimization, including workforce management, and self-service capabilities, all on a single platform with a common UI and deployed on the platform of your choice. So I'll talk more about that on Thursday's call, and appreciate the time, Doug and Steph.
This is a terrific news partnership for Teleris and our partners. Aspect is just a huge presence in this market. We invite everyone to join the official launch and partner training call where you'll be introduced to all of the different capabilities that Aspect offers and get a preview of the materials that will be available in the Teleris back office as well. Dennis, thanks so much for being here today. We hope everyone will join this Thursday, October 4th. It begins at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. The registration information is in your Teleris partner back office. Dennis, thanks so much. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Doug. Talk to you soon.
All right, it is time for our weekly partner sales recognition with some well-deserved shout-outs and kudos to 3 of our high-performing Teleris partners. In this week's third place position, Teleris congratulates Mike Sickle. He's the president, Barb Sisler, the director of operations, Jake Bascom, the regional VP of sales, and the newest team member, Jeremy Tenney, the VP of Sales. All at Dynamic Network Advisors. This sale marks 88 consecutive months where Dynamic has placed at least 2 sales through Teleris. This time, the Dynamic team closed a tremendous sale of hosted VoIP services from 8x8 to a client providing services to the construction industry. Now think about that coincidence. 8x8 88 months, that is, and an awesome 8x8 sale. I like that. 8x8 moves complexity to the cloud with one intelligent solution. The DNA team continues to provide the expertise and specialization that best fit their clients' need in voice, connectivity, cloud, managed, and security solutions. Congratulations, Dynamic Network Advisors, on this tremendous 8x8 sale. And taking the second position in this week's top 3, Teleris congratulates our longtime partner, Terry Swanland, Cloud Solutions Architect at IBCS, Business Cloud Solutions. They're in the Fort Collins, Colorado area. The IBCS team posted a very impressive sale of fiber Ethernet services from Comcast Business to a client in the air travel industry. Comcast is building the nation's largest gig speed network, providing the internet speed needed to support more connected devices and transforming businesses while staying within an affordable budget. Terry Swanland and the IBCS team partner with clients, leveraging their 30 years of experience and industry knowledge to facilitate and implement communications and cloud solutions while providing exceptional customer service. Congratulations, Terry Swanland and the IBCS team on this outstanding Comcast Business sale. And topping the Teleris leaderboard this week, we recognize and congratulate Tom Sullivan, Jay Lewis, and all of the team at VisionCom Incorporated out of Finland, Minnesota. 2 of the world's coldest location names brought together in a single place, to which my Siberian Husky is now demanding we move. Thanks, guys, very much. The VisionCom team posted a phenomenal sale of hosted VoIP services from Vonage Business to a client in the financial services industry. The Vonage system is entirely cloud-based, allowing your clients to implement new software without additional infrastructure or cost. So as client businesses grow, the Vonage network seamlessly scales with them without unexpected fees. VisionCom is committed to helping their clients contain costs and improving clients' voice and data systems. They're a recognized leader in telecommunications review and consulting, and their comprehensive analyses invariably yield opportunities for savings and improved technologies. Congratulations, VisionCom, on this tremendous Vonage Business win. It is our top Teleris sale of the week. And thanks to all of our partners for trusting Teleris with your business. Teleris is built for you. Well, taking a look at this week's training calendar, we have 4 excellent opportunities being featured on today's call as Teleris and our suppliers help build your business with valuable information you need to know. First up, today, Tuesday, October 2nd, beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern, HTG 360 will present their Security 101 training, starting from the very beginning. A very good place to start. How to find the right managed security customer. This is the first of 3 HTG 360 security webinars in October, each one building on the last to help you gain a complete knowledge of the security opportunity, the available solutions, and the successful sales process. You can register for them all. HTG 360 Security 101 training, it begins today at 3 p.m. Eastern. Then tomorrow, Wednesday, October 2nd at 1 p.m. Eastern, plan to join Natural Wireless for training on easily selling their dedicated internet access service. Goes from 10 meg to 10 gig. Natural Wireless deploys and manages the largest 100% pure fixed wireless network infrastructure in New York City and northern New Jersey. And they can install any dedicated internet speed within 5 business days. Check out Natural Wireless training, including DIA over fixed wireless, HIPAA compliance, encryption, and more. It's tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then, as mentioned just earlier, this Thursday, October 4th, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern, join the official launch and training call for new Telarus supplier, Aspect. Discover Aspect's flexible, highly scalable cloud, hosted, and on-premises solution for contact center, featuring their industry-leading intuitive software, omni-channel interaction management, workforce optimization, and tremendous reporting capabilities. It's the Aspect launch and training call Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Finally, also on Thursday, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern, Vonage Business, provider of unified communications, quality of service, and integrations, presents special training on crafting the perfect pitch. When your unique selling proposition is based on selling better business outcomes, your customers quickly realize that you're not just selling products, but solutions engineered to the needs of their business. Join this Vonage Business webinar to learn how you can make the transition from a transactional sales approach to become a solutions expert. That's Vonage Business Training, Thursday, 1 p.m. The details and registration links for these and for many other live and recorded learning opportunities are all in your Telarus back office at agent.telarus.com. Well, hey, let's get you some money for selling these great products as well. Each week we pass along some of the best available spiffs offered to Telarus partners for sales of popular products from our suppliers. Among this week's featured offerings, Comcast Business is out with a type of promotion not often seen. It's an installation fee opportunity, a chance to earn 25% of the standard installation fee charged per site associated with either business Ethernet products or SD-WAN service. So that's business Ethernet or SD-WAN. 36-month terms are required. Orders have to be accepted between July 22nd and October 21st. A great opportunity to cash in on installations of those multi-site Comcast Business opportunities. 25% of standard installation fees, a bonus for you from Comcast Business. And next, an outstanding promotion from Sierra Wireless. Now, you can double your money while the sun shines. Sierra Wireless is doubling the lifetime commission rate on all deals registered between the summer solstice and Halloween. That install before New Year's Eve. Your customers will keep cool with resilient connectivity installed throughout the United States. Sierra Wireless takes the sting out of network outages with fully managed 4G LTE bundles that have a 99.9% SLA for failover and temporary connectivity. Double your money, double that lifetime commission rate on all Sierra Wireless deals registered before Halloween. It's a great offer from Sierra Wireless. And finally, the Agent Spiff promotion from Hudson Fiber Network, a premier data transport provider and now an Extenet systems company. Receive a one-time spiff based on the MRC for any new order with term contract of 24 months or longer. The longer the term, the higher the reward. 50% of 1 month's MRC on a 24-month agreement, or 100% MRC on a 36-month term. They'll even pay a 125% bonus of 1 month's MRC on a 60-month term. Get immediate rewards with the Hudson Fiber Network, that's HFN, partner promotion. These and many more fantastic deals from our suppliers can all be found at promo.telarus.com. Well, as mentioned earlier, I'm very happy to be joined today by Sam Wolf. He's the Wireline Channel Manager at Sprint Business, and by Brad Stidham, our Sprint Solutions Engineer. They're here today discussing business Wi-Fi from Sprint. You know, it seems like most clients are offering their customers guest Wi-Fi, but not many businesses are using that offering as a revenue generating platform, incorporating content marketing, data analytics, and even monetization opportunities. Sam and Brad, welcome to our Tuesday call. This sounds like an easy selling opportunity for most of our Telarus partners with public-facing clients.
Thank you, Doug. Yes, it is. This is Sam Wolf. I'm a channel manager on the wireline side with Sprint Business. I also have my solutions engineer extraordinaire, Brad Stidham, joining us as well. The first slide here just has a little bit of my contact information. If you want to engage myself, you can do that directly through one of those avenues, or you can reach out to your Telarus Partner Support Manager, and they can engage me directly as well. As a reminder, Sprint is a Tier 1 global provider with an all-IP next-generation network. We do everything from MPLS to DIA to SD-WAN, including unified communications. We have a fantastic teaming program with our direct reps to where the indirect channel can team at no compensation reduction on any new logo opportunities. And we are also running a spiff to where you would receive 1 times the first month MRC on any new wireline orders. We've just extended that to November 30th. So we're excited about that as well. Now, if you want to hop to the next slide there, Steph, we'll go ahead and dive right in. Sprint Business Wi-Fi. Business Wi-Fi itself is really nothing new. It's been around for a long time. This provides a unique solution, though, on the guest side of the Sprint Wi-Fi. It still provides the capability to break up the corporate from the guest Wi-Fi with security and firewalls in place. But what it does is provide some unique features and abilities to provide content marketing, as well as collect data analytics from those users that are logging into the guest Wi-Fi. So here, if you can see this screen, this is a splash page of what a user would see when they go to log into a guest Wi-Fi. The splash page itself is easily customizable through a cloud-based portal. That can be done through JPEG drag and drop. It doesn't require any HTML coding or anything like that. You'll see that there's a couple of different options to log in. One of those being a standard email address with name and phone number. That information is captured in the portal as a lead that's organized easily within that portal. The other options that you can see there are for social media. Now, if a user or a guest chooses to log in through a social media platform, in addition to a normal end user license agreement, they'll receive a prompt asking if it's okay to share their profile information with the customer that has the guest Wi-Fi. If they select yes, that information about that user on their profile will be uploaded into the captive portal as well as a lead. Excuse me, sorry about that. This provides some unique marketing opportunities. The first thing that it does is enable customers to not depend so heavily on third-party generation lead sources that they're going to spend thousands of dollars per month on. This provides information and demographics on customers that are already on site, which is the best leads that you can possibly get. If you want to go ahead and go to the next slide there, Steph. So this is an example of a welcome page when the user would log in. Again, this is easily customizable. You can drag and drop a JPEG right into the captive portal. Doesn't require any coding, programming, anything like that. It's very customizable to where you can have your company image, or you could do, some of our customers choose a overlay if they're convention centers that we work with, hospitals, hotels, right? They'll put an overlay, a map, restaurants around them, things like that. If you want to go ahead and go to the next slide there, Steph, let's get to the fun stuff. So here's an example of demographic information that was captured in the portal, right? This is an actual lead example. It provides everything from name, age, gender, email, birthday, education history, likes, and their hometown. Basically, anything that that user has in their social media profile will be captured if they choose to share that information. It also captures things such as when they visit, how long they stay, where the different locations that they're visiting. If there's multiple stores and they're going to different ones, it can capture that information as well. And then it gives other IT-based information such as the device type, the MAC IP address, things like that. If you want to go on to the next slide there, Steph. And here's where it gets really, really fun, and marketing teams absolutely love this, is we can enable through a easy-to-use workflow that's cloud-based, so it can be accessed anywhere just through a simple login. Through this workflow, they can do content delivery and advertisements. Whether that be down at the bottom there, you can see a static banner ad. This would overlay on top of any web browser, whether that's through mobile or on a tablet or an actual laptop or, excuse me, an iPad. That'll overlay on top of that. And that could be a clickable link or just an advertisement. The other very, very unique thing is being able to provide video advertising over that content delivery. Now, this can happen when they first log in. They can pop up with an advertisement, 15 seconds of, here's some of the products and services that our organization offers. Some of the unique things that they can do with this, we're actually working with a RV park, Brad and I are, and what they're going to be doing is the restaurants that are around them, they're going to be advertising those restaurants through their guest Wi-Fi. They're already advertised on their website. This just gives them one additional stream to monetize that guest Wi-Fi. Now, the targeted advertising can also be based on the demographic information that is captured through the social media sign-ins. For instance, we were working with a bank that has about 200 locations that we are deploying this solution at. And rather than do a one-size-fits-all targeted marketing for all of their fiduciary products or just their highest margin, typically they were always advertising roll over your 401k into an IRA, things like that. But that doesn't satisfy all customers or fit all customers. So what this enables is when somebody logs in, if they see that the age is underneath, 35 years old, and if they're married, right, they can advertise mortgage rates, right, for first-time home buyers, or open up a college savings account if they have a family for young children, things like that. And those can be played automatically through the workflow and work queue. It's very easy to use and to set up for the customers. Doesn't require any programming or anything like that. It's all done through a GUI interface, drag and drop. So they're seeing a ton of success with that. And again, it allows them to target very specific customers and not just have a blanket strategy approach. If you want to go ahead and go to the next slide there, Steph. So the other way that you can enable your customers to monetize their guest Wi-Fi is through the actual broadband delivery itself. So when the guests log in, they can be given a speed rate limit of whatever you want that to be, or whatever your customer wants that to be, where they can only, say, for example, get 1 meg down and half a meg up. The RV park that we're actually working with is deploying this feature and functionality as well. What they're going to do is provide guests a free login for the guest of 1 meg down, half a meg up. But what they're going to do is give the option as well to where they can pay for a faster speed, right? You want to stream Netflix or anything like that, you're going to have to pay a fee of $10.95 or $14.95, whatever that is going to be. And that's also done through the captive portal, that fee management on, here's what it's going to cost per day, or they can set up some type of monthly for their long-term stay residents. It also allows a lot more control over that Wi-Fi to where You can define speeds for all the users. That way you're not having one user simply suck up all the bandwidth if they're doing, 4K streaming or transferring large video files, things of that nature. So that's Sprint Business Wi-Fi in a nutshell. We're excited about this. It's providing a lot of activity with customers, specifically when we get their marketing teams involved. That's really the key that we found in positioning this is the IT teams that we typically work with, they just want it to work. They don't want to have any security breaches, anything like that. Where we're finding the extreme interest is when we get a customer's marketing team involved and show them the power of the content delivered marketing, the data analytics, the ability to upcharge for having a faster speed internet. And once they're involved, typically marketing has a lot more dollars to spend than an IT team does. So that's kind of our angle and where we're seeing a lot of success with this solution.
We're talking today with Sam Wolf and with Brad Stidham. They are from Sprint Business. Sam is our wireline channel manager, and Brad is the sales engineer who's joined us today. We've had a number of questions that came in on our chat window. Brad, I see you've already been answering a few of those. We appreciate that. Nice to have you there in the background. Want to talk for just a minute about this as a concept. I think guest Wi-Fi is one of those things that is an add-on in many of our partners' minds. Many times they'll think about it, many times they do not. And yet, when we talk about customer-facing opportunities, I mean, this is one of the greatest ways to get right in front of a client's customers and give them additional ways to not only promote their own business, but to monetize certain applications of it as well. You've touched on a number of those here during the presentation. What's the best way, and I guess what time in the process is the best time to approach a client about, all right, look, we've taken care of your IT needs, the basic infrastructure and that sort of thing. Now let's talk about how you interface with your clients and customers and how they can be a part of your network as well.
So the best time is any time. And the reason that I say that, Doug, that's a very, very good question. But this solution is agnostic. Right, we do global networks, and we would prefer that you run it over our network. However, if the customer just signed up with a 3-year commitment with another provider, and they're only 6 months in, they still have 2.5 years to go. These access points, they're commercial grade, but they can be put on the end of any existing network, whether that's dedicated internet or broadband. We can put those on the end of that and provide instant engagement. So it's great in that sense that it doesn't have to wait to, rip and replace circuits or anything like that. This can be put in as an add-on on top of what is already in place. And the time to talk is always, right? Businesses are always striving to get more engagement with their customers. And how are they doing that, right? Is it through just standard, cold calling, or is it through having valuable information about their customers and having touch points when they're actually on site and gathering valuable information about those customers that are already in their business without having to pay additional lead sources for revenue generation?
I always have to smile when I go into almost any business these days where you might have to wait for a period of time, whether it's a medical office or an auto repair shop or just about anywhere. And I smile at people as they come in because usually the business has invested in one or multiple monitors that are up on the wall, some of them rather large, and they'll have some sort of programming on there. Sometimes it's just TV, sometimes it's business specific. But no matter who it seems like they always just come in and immediately pull out their small screen phone and are instantly engaged in whatever it is that they're doing there. It seems like a tremendous opportunity to provide that guest Wi-Fi access because almost everybody walking into the place that has to wait more than a couple of minutes is either going to log on or somehow be a part of that network.
Yeah, I absolutely agreed. And if you're like me, I try to not be glued to my smartphone as much as possible. But just like you said, I had to get my oil changed last week. It's summer here in Phoenix. Don't feel like laying on the pavement in 100-degree weather. So take it down to the car dealership, and takes 45 minutes to an hour. The car dealership, they didn't have a guest Wi-Fi. I'm like, wow, what is this? The Stone Age? I have to use my own LTE, right? But just not having that functionality, to me, was a drawback, right? I have to wait 45 minutes. It's instant gratification. I want it now. And a lot of consumers feel that way. And a lot of businesses do provide a guest Wi-Fi. With that guest Wi-Fi that they're providing, though, they're not having a return on that. They just give customers access. Hey, it's just a benefit of being here. We'll let you get on the internet, right? But how can they monetize that? How do they say, we're already providing this? How can we turn it into a revenue stream for our business?
So I'm intrigued also by the level of information that can be gathered on this, and this kind of leads into a discussion about security as well. As customers come in and they choose to take advantage of the guest Wi-Fi access, and they are able to provide, or information can be gathered, if you will, from their devices by the service. Then we get into some issues about encryption and security. What sort of security and encryption is available for this type of service if purchased through Sprint, and how can users be assured that their information is secure?
I'm sitting here talking on mute. Brad, are you online still? Brad
may be on mute as well.
Well, Brad really can dive in. He's asking if we can unmute him. He's showing muted.
Steph, do you have Brad's number we can unmute? If not, I'll move on to a different question and we'll come back to him. Brad, just chime in whenever you happen to come online, or just keep yelling, "Can you hear me yet?" And we'll let you know when we can.
So to answer at a high level, because I'm not as technical as Brad, I don't try to be. He's awesome at what he does, so I always want to ensure that he's able to do what he does very, very well. But we do keep the corporate and the guest network separated with firewalls. The organization that we partner with to provide a lot of these cloud features and functionality for the content marketing as well as data analytics, the company is called Rogapa, that we have a partnership with. Now, Rogapa, I know in the news, you bring up a good point. There's been a lot of news about, Facebook and data and information being shared. So there can be some, scary things about that. With the relationships that Rogapa has, they have direct contracts with Google, with LinkedIn, and with Facebook. So this information and data isn't being shared without Facebook's express written consent, or LinkedIn's, or Google's. In addition to that, the customer is also agreeing to share that information. If they choose not to share that information, they can still access the guest Wi-Fi, and information about their social media profile will not be gathered.
Hey, this is Brad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, speak up just a little bit, Brad. You're a little far away, but glad to have you on.
Okay, great. So I can answer a couple questions about the security. Is this volume okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. So we like to logically partition corporate and guest Wi-Fi network traffic. We'll use separate VLANs. So logically, that traffic will never mix. And we also forward that traffic as soon as it hits the access point to an Amazon web server, if it's guest Wi-Fi, as a gateway. And what that Amazon web server does is it acts as the command and control and hosting server for the captive portal that Rogapa uses. So that is a virtual instance in the Amazon web server that's dedicated to your client. So there's no bandwidth capacity issues or anything like that. It also doesn't traverse your corporate network, and it doesn't necessarily have to go through your firewall. So in regards to corporate security, you're protected there logically. Also, we provide a full range of security products, Zscaler, Fortinet, UTM services, and things like that. So if your customer does have a need for elevated encryption, sandboxing, SSL inspection, anti-malware, virus, botnet, something like that, we can certainly accommodate that need for the range of products. And also, this is a public internet-facing service. If your customer has an existing security product that they'd like to bring over and kind of control some of this internet usage, all this really is pointing the SSID's guest Wi-Fi traffic to a gateway. We could most certainly accommodate an existing security platform, whether the customer wants to use a cloud service like Zscaler that they already have, or some kind of existing Cisco ASA firewall. So security is a big component for a lot of our customers, and we can certainly accommodate that with an on-premise or cloud-based solution.
A couple of good questions that have appeared on the chat window today. I wanted to talk about these as well. You mentioned briefly, Brad, I think in one of your responses, but let's talk about it here as well. This service can work over any internet connection, right? Whether it's the customer's current ISP or the Sprint wireless network. Any restrictions in that regard?
Right, and I want to spell maybe a rumor or two, just make sure that everyone's aware. Sprint is a Tier 1 global dedicated internet provider. We do use wireline services to deliver that internet, and not a lot of people know that. Maybe our marketing department needs to be doing a better job of that. But we can certainly provide Ethernet over fiber, copper, TDM, a variety of services. So it doesn't have to be over the Sprint wireless network. And frankly, we don't recommend doing guest Wi-Fi services over a wireless connection, because most business wireless plans are metered for usage. And even though you can control the bandwidth, you most certainly don't want to pay for a usage-based service for a bunch of tenants who are possibly not even paying for that internet. It's just a cost eater. So we can use Sprint internet service. We partner with 35 different access providers to deliver a last mile. So we certainly have coverage over not just the US, but globally as well. And on top of that, we can use an existing internet service provider that the customer has, whether it's UVerse, broadband, AT&T, dedicated internet, Time Warner Telecom, something like that. We are access agnostic. We can put this equipment and captive portal service over any existing internet.
Got a great question out here from Val Brockman, and I think many of our partners have run into similar situations. Great opportunities come up from time to time to sell all sorts of services on a very temporary basis. It could be a special event, concert, convention, whatever it may be, and large numbers of visitors may want to take advantage of a service or network for a temporary period of time. He mentions, what if you've got maybe a 10-day event at a remote location with a large number of visitors coming? Can Sprint help with guest Wi-Fi access and these types of services at that type of an event?
That's a great question, and we certainly can, whether they have existing infrastructure in place that's already installed. Maybe it's a conference center that already has internet access points, things like that. Maybe they just need the Ragapa type service to control guest internet access. We can certainly offer that as a standalone product. We just do a couple router statements on the router. We enable the virtual instance in the Amazon web server, and that customer control just about anything through that cloud portal on guest Wi-Fi. Alternatively, if we know that this event center will host several events in the future, that event center will usually turn into a potential target customer for a service like this, because not only do we offer the guest Wi-Fi service, we also offer internet, the infrastructure, the managed services, and typically in a guest Wi-Fi implementation or a sales cycle, those convention centers, hotels, and things like that, they are some of the best customers for this type of service. So if they're not happy with their existing service, this is an opportunity to come in with a brand new infrastructure and either resell it to whoever the tenant's going to be that's hosting the conference. They can spin off their own guest Wi-Fi control to that, or we can just let the conference center do it themselves.
Speaking of installation and activation processes and costs, for a standard, quote unquote, type of installation, is there a general time frame that clients can expect that it may take to install wireless services? And with regard to any equipment involved, is that something that is purchase or lease, or how does that work in terms of equipment rental?
That's a great question. So it depends on the size of the building and if they need equipment or not. And the first thing we look at is a floor plan, if they can provide it, or an aerial overhead shot on Google Maps. If they can, if they're an outdoor location. And we do what's called a virtual site survey, and we will look at what we anticipate within 90% accuracy of how many access points, what type of coverage, what their RSSI signals, signal strength, and estimated throughput is at various locations. And we'll make a recommendation on the amount and type of hardware they need. Typically, whether or not they have a broadband connection, we'll usually put a managed router on site, either a Fortinet or maybe a Meraki device. And then off of that, if there's only one access point, then we'll run either a Meraki MR access point or a Fortinet Ruckus, possibly an R500, and then we'll just connect that direct to the router. If it's a larger implementation, we'll put occasionally a switch in there as well. And all of this is managed by Sprint. So from a troubleshooting, implementation, installation, configuring perspective, it's hands off from the customer. They just know, that they have a Wi-Fi system and Sprint manages it. So if you do have a customer that has existing equipment, if you could just let us know the make and models, we can have that discussion with them. There's a good chance that we can take over that as well without having to put new equipment out there. And from a cost perspective and how this is contracted, it is a purchase agreement from the customer. However, we don't have to do an all CapEx implementation. We've had situations where customers prefer the entire installation, all the equipment and service in an OpEx model, and we can certainly accommodate that as well. We have a government customer. It's the United States Air Force Desert Eagle RV Park, and part of the bill for installation is being flipped by the government. So if we want to do part of it in an NRC and part of it in an MRC, we can certainly do that as well.
I have a feeling I know the answer or answers to this next question, but it's such a good question I can't resist asking it, so I want to get your perspective on it. Jason Cullens actually asked this, one of our partners. It is true that more and more people are getting some sort of an unlimited data plan from their device provider or their carrier. And so if a client were to ask, why would I want to invest in this type of solution, providing guest Wi-Fi with a monetization aspect and this sort of marketing platform, when more and more of the clients may or may not be using that kind of a network, but instead may just be relying on their own data? What's the response or the responses to that?
Yeah, and this is kind of where we're well informed on that aspect, being a major wireless provider. And you're right, there are a lot of people with unlimited plans. There are also people that enjoy having a certain level of service. And I will say, if you go to an RV or campground or a convention center with 400,000 people in it, the likelihood of getting a persistent connection with dedicated bandwidth on that one or two possible cell towers is going to be slim to none, especially if you're maybe a golf course or something like that, anywhere out in a rural area. Also, a lot of kids' devices don't have cellular connections, tablets, things like that. There are plenty of company laptops that don't have cellular cards in it as well. And not all plans are ubiquitous in the terms of having unlimited, unthrottled connections. Specifically, there are some providers, and I won't name names, but if you go over a certain family pooled or unlimited data plan, that speed gets throttled, whether you're on a Ragapa type session controlled instance or not. So if someone's looking to not go against their data plan, they don't have good coverage, they're using a device that doesn't have a cellular connection in it, there is still a market need for Wi-Fi, specifically in those types of situations.
And I love those answers. Those are exactly what I was thinking of from the customers or the end user's perspective. From the client's perspective, from the business's perspective, seems to me that regardless of what may be a changing end user base, the opportunity still to put your message out there with your brand and to generate additional revenue from this service that you're providing still seems like it would be a phenomenal and a highly desired opportunity for most business owners, correct?
That's absolutely correct, and I'll give everyone some homework if they're really interested. If you go look at just about any hotel review site or Yelp, for a large space where people frequently stay for longer than an hour, one of the most popular review items on there is Wi-Fi. If you look at hotels, campgrounds, large restaurants or resorts, people will let you know that they're unhappy with the Wi-Fi service, and we actually use that as a value proposition statement for our customers. We can take real life reviews and we can apply that and say your guests are not going to come back, or they gave you 2 stars because there was either no cell coverage or there was no Wi-Fi access here. Cell coverage isn't something that necessarily a business can do anything about, but they certainly can control their Wi-Fi. So not only, to your point, the branding and the imaging that they're putting out there, putting a uniform, consistent experience for the end user, but they're also collecting those data and analytics that they wouldn't get if they were on a generic Wi-Fi offering or the customer was using their own cell signal. Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Now I was on mute. Unbelievable.
I
was giving the best speech. I was just saying that in addition to the guest Wi-Fi, we have the full complement of Sprint services as well, from business mobility to voice and collaboration, networking, security, the Internet of Things, all of these different solutions that are available. Sam, as channel manager, what would you want to tell our Telarus partners about how to learn more about Sprint Business Services and how to best offer these to their clients?
Yeah, absolutely. The best way to learn about the Sprint business is you can engage myself or your Telarus Partner Support Manager. I believe a copy of this deck will be sent out afterwards, so you'll have my contact information if you weren't able to capture it earlier. I know a couple people have asked for a copy of the deck as well, along with the recording. But again, you can reach me at samuel.wolf@sprint.com. That's one of the easiest ways to contact me. Or you can reach out to your Telarus Partner Support Manager.
Brad, any final thoughts?
Just leave you with a couple what to look for type scenarios. I think everyone likes target information. Any business that has a high foot traffic is an obvious one, but we're also looking for length of stay. So if you can find a business that has customers that stay for longer than an hour, you think car dealerships, movie theaters, hotels, campgrounds, convention centers, sporting arenas, things like that, you are going to have a higher adoption rate and connection rate of Wi-Fi. It's just simple math. The longer someone stays there, the more likely they are to ask about the Wi-Fi. That is the biggest target that we look for. Secondly is, if they have Wi-Fi infrastructure or not. Some companies are still slow to adopt. I also look for banks. Banks are very popular with this type of service, and people always ask, what about PCI compliance and things like that. In typical guest Wi-Fi offering in major banks, usually they'll bring in a dedicated broadband connection for just that service, to where it never touches the corporate network. So we can certainly be accommodating of PCI compliance in our designs. Hotels, they're kind of hit and miss. Hospitals, they're kind of hit and miss. Some of them are managed by foreign entities that have, global contracts, and there is, the HIPAA compliance conversations you're going to get into. However, we can certainly design to accommodate a hotel. It's just a little bit of a harder sell.
Well, great information, not only about the products that we're discussing today, but all of the Sprint offerings. You'll want to find out more about the offerings that Sprint has available. You can check them out online at business.sprint.com, and certainly speak with your Telarus Partner Sales Manager about all of the different ways that Sprint Business can help with you and your clients' needs. Sam and Brad, we appreciate your being on the call today and all that you've shared with us. As you mentioned, this deck will be put out for all of the folks that want to take a closer look at the information, and we hope that we'll see a great uptick in the questions and the opportunities that come in for Sprint Business. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you, Doug. We appreciate it.
And our thanks to each of you for your attendance and participation today on our Telarus Tuesday call. If you have suggestions for the call, please send them to marketing@telarus.com. A reminder that there will not be a Tuesday call next week on October 9th due to the Telarus involvement at the Channel Partners Evolution event in Philly, but we look forward to seeing many of you there. Our Tuesday call returns in 2 weeks on October 16th. Until then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Have a great selling week, everyone.